Hello and welcome back to Shadowrun Returns Dead Man's Switch, where apparently the game refuses to think we're not in combat, even after I hit end turn, even though there's no enemies here. It seemed to be entirely based on the fact that we need to go back in deck again. So, I don't know, dude. Let's get in there. Fucking weird. What? Wait, what? What? What do you want me to do? Just run around? Oh, that's fucking weird. Guys, really? You couldn't put a bit more polish on this? I don't think that's how that's supposed... Like, that makes perfect sense if you're, you know, decking under fire, but we're not. We have a controlled node. Oh, come on. There we go. This is, it's not really exhilarating. It's a little bit tedious. Searching medical records. Silas Forsberg. Medical records file for Silas Forsberg located. Why are there... Okay. 2020 to 2030. Pediatric record partial. One particular pediatrician's entry stands out from the rest. Child suffers from a chronic depression and social anxiety, most likely caused by his physical abnormalities. We've seen many cases like this recently, with the outbreak of changeling children being born. With the aberrant physiology we're seeing, there is no telling what sort of brain functions are affected. Prescribed a series of sedatives last year that seemed to have no effect, upping the dosage. 2030 to 2040. Data is missing a corrupted. Contact your administrator for help. I hate those messages. 2040 to 2050. The file is quite large and takes well over an hour to read through. The final entry, however, is the most significant. It's written by Dr. Henry Holmes. Silas has overcome significant mental disorders and no longer goes through periods of violent episodes. Latest medications have proven especially effective, but I believe that being treated by another elf has significantly impacted his treatment. Unfortunately, my efforts to maintain an emotional boundary with him have proven challenging. He has bonded to me in an unhealthy and frankly unnerving way. His hero worship exhibits itself in the form of mimicked speech patterns and adopting my dress. For this reason, and for the health of the patient, I am assigning another doctor to his case. I will inform him at his next session. Yeah, that's distressing. Got a name now. Dr. Holmes? Let's keep going and find out where he works. Watch out, that black IC could fry us. You could have kept that on screen a little longer so I could have read the whole thing if it's actually that much of a fucking threat. Jerks. Wait, so it did host damage, but am I allowed to go out and heal him? I mean, now I can't get back out. Pick a lane, game. It's got a lot of health, too. Good. Alright. And then I can spend the last one healing myself. Now that we've eliminated the real world health threat. Okay. Employment records located. Harry Hollings Holmes, MD, PhD. Check current employment status. Current employment status. Dr. Henry Holmes currently holds the position of chief psychiatrist and administrator at Mercy Mental Hospital, Sonoma, Wisconsin, UCAS. Check previous employers. Previous employers, 2045 to 2054, psychiatrist in residence. Mercy Mental Hospital in Sonoma, Wisconsin, UCAS. 2040 to 2045, attending psychiatrist. 2030 to 2040, private practice. Really, that's it? Bingo, back to meat space again. Oh, Jesus. Wait a minute. I don't love that it reverses direction like that. I wish that it respected direction a bit more. Just because it's hard to figure out whether you're going the right way. There aren't exactly landmarks. Reality is at the end of the day contextual. And as the meat world comes back into focus, your head once again tries to settle on which world is the real one. While the philosophical question lingers, your meat body demands food and drink. You disconnect from your deck to find that the Union's safe house has risen. Well, I don't have a deck, so that's not true, but okay. David looks almost as tired as you do. You can tell that this case has gotten under his skin like it has yours. Any luck in there? We found an exact match for the DNA, but it was linked to a dead chop shop assistant by the name of Silas Forsberg. Now, I have my theories, but what do you think is going on out here, Alice? I think this one's unlikely. This one is possible. This is also possible, but that's a pretty strong statement. Silas must have an identical twin brother, or maybe Silas faked his death. I don't know. Like, they said dental records, so that's, well, I don't know in this universe. It seems like they're using it as a record-keeping thing, so it's presumably being treated as reasonably accurate. So, I'm gonna know not that one and say this one. A bit out there as far as theories go. I guess we can't rule it out just yet. Did you see anything in the autopsy report that could fill in some more details? The face was so mangled they had to use dental records to identify. Well, I mean, yeah, this one's weird. He was killed by sedatives, but the coroner still thought he had ripped his own face off. Coroner really phoned it in on that one. Happens way too often when there's no next of kin willing to foot the bills for a thorough autopsy. Definitely don't think that report told the whole story. They matched the identity by the dental records, right? Not the most reliable. Ah, here we go. It matches up with something I've seen runners try. It's easy enough to find a body shop that'll make a replica set of teeth for you. Find some schlub off the street no one will miss, swap the teeth, and throw the heat off your trail for a while. Lucky I've never been that desperate. Well, why would he need to go to those lengths? Did the police records have something linking him to a different crime? Well, okay, so they're just dismissing my twin theory because, well, rightly so. It's a little goofy, but it's just a weird way to deliver this dialogue tree. He had a prior for unlicensed unlicensed plastic surgery. True, wouldn't look too good on someone's record if they wanted to become a doctor. I think this is beginning to come together. The late Silas left all his belongings to a doctor, Dr. Holmes. Employment records have him as the administrator at Mercy Mental, and the picture on his file matches the person you saw downtown. The same person this DNA belongs to. All of the evidence points to him being your killer, whoever he really is. Well, I think the implication here is basically like, dude had a psychotic break, faked his own death, thought he was really good at being a chop shop guy / surgical guy, got fixated on his doctor, then left everything to the doctor in his will with the intention that he was, I'm guessing we're getting to this, he was going to kill him and take his place. Seeing as he's already, mimicking him and all that. Dr. Holmes. Employment records have a picture on the same person this DNA belongs to. All the evidence points to him being your... Oh, I literally didn't read the thing I just read very carefully. So, I mean, this is a pretty poorly delivered, frankly, but... The picture on his file matches the person you saw downtown. I mean, that's a really, half a sentence to link the two. You don't know that, because I literally don't know that. I haven't seen this picture. What are you talking about? And you don't know what he looked like. I was the one who saw it. This is really poorly delivered. I didn't even realize what it was saying. The connections I made were based on the other data I already had. This is really bad. I should go find this Dr. Holmes and ask him some very pointed questions. Please pay him my respects. I always find that high caliber rounds get the message across. You should clearly hire some friends to go loaded for bear. I side-loaded a ton of valuable data from those Lone Star Matrix nodes. Here's your cut. You're not coming? I think my part here is done. You might want to go sticking your hand into a hornet's nest, but I'm a little more wary of the jobs I take these days. Yeah, what is he talking about? The person, didn't I see a shadow or something? And we never actually saw them on the literal screen. It was just like a note that we saw somebody moving or something like that, isn't it? Or am I forgetting something else? I don't know, it's all pretty weird. You've still got things to say though. Oh, you're just selling again, but you're doing it here, okay. You got anything new? Despite the hour, Buster is fastidiously put together in another wrinkle-free suit. He shows every indication that he's been up for hours, sunk to his elbows in a dozen crates, each containing objects of sinister matte black hidden beneath curls of straw-colored packing foam. The foam flies about as he inventories the shipment, clinging to every surface except for Buster's immaculate suit. Just in time. I've got a whole slew of new toys in from a supplier back east. Yeah, just as I thought you might. Factory fresh and still smelling of their mother's gun oil. Maybe there's something in this batch you'd be interested in? How long you been in the trade, Buster? Well, let's see here. I left Cal Free on July 8th, 2038 at 6:13 in the morning. It was a Thursday. From there, I wandered a bit, plied my skills as a merc in a half dozen different wars, official or otherwise. Never did take to running the shadows like some of the boys I knew. Too subtle for my tastes, I suppose. Surely there was no shortage of full-scale engagements to be had, so I didn't want for work. Might still be doing it today if I hadn't lost the arm. The replacement looks up to the task. What, this here? No, this is a more recent upgrade, thanks to Doc Castle over there. For a good while I was sporting something a good deal clunkier. Keep the old one in back as a reminder. It was also stupid. Some Azzies were lobbing smokers behind our lines, more to mess with us than anything. I decided to toss one back, and didn't it just figure that the one I grab ain't a smoker. I got it off, but only just barely. Shredded my arm, but good. My old arm, but good. Got plenty of other scars to remember the moment by as well, but the arm was the big one. So take a word of advice from an old soldier. Make sure you're never holding a grenade in one hand unless you just pulled the pin with the other. Now, if I haven't given you reason to doubt my professional competence, how about we talk turkey? What can I get you? All right, what new rifles do you have? Wait. Slightly more accurate. Well, that's not listed as part of the specs. What the fuck? It does do more damage, though. Is there actually a numerical difference between these two? I mean, if it was a relevant stat, wouldn't you include it? Or let me see it somewhere? Oh, that's kind of shitty. I mean, I think I'll invest in the Range Combat 4, but let's just take a look. I've got 30 points to play with, so... okay. Quickness 4. Overwatch and Range Combat 4, that's good. That'll be useful. And then... let's see. Well, that's good enough for now. We'll see what else. And now that I have 2 rifles, or I will have 2 rifles, I'll be... I don't need to buy another thing like I was talking about. Okay. Confirm that. And then I expect the rest of you also have new gear, yeah? Come on, game. Figure it out. Well, I am glad that I didn't buy the Alley Punk armor, if only because it saved me a few dollars, or a few new yen, to spend now instead. So, whole bunch of new level 4 armors. These actually give you somewhat substantial statistical bonuses. Excuse me. Charisma and Spirit Summoning +1. So that could be an option. The alternative is to go for this, which is only an additional 250 new yen, which is like very reasonable. And if I go for the one with quickness, I don't know if I want to invest in dodge or anything else. Oh, you know what? If I had been wearing this, I think I could have spared myself the karma cost for upgrading to the next level of guns. It's whatever. Again, I don't really know how the armor calculates. I don't know. It's only 1,000, right? I've got less than 10%, so we'll give it a try. That's an outfit, huh? Not sure if that's a BioShock reference or just amusing. Okay. And do you have some new stuff for me? Algernon looks the same as always, so much that one may wonder if he ever takes time to eat or sleep. Perhaps his presence on this plane of existence is insubstantial enough that he isn't subject to such base needs. Or perhaps he just does these things when no one is looking. Dark clouds surround you, my friend, but perhaps there is something I could provide to you that would help whatever weighs so heavily upon you. What's new in the world of magic, Algernon? The spirits are stirring. Something has upset the natural order. There is something new, different. I've seen some sick dreck lately, might be what you mean. Algernon takes a hard look at you for what may be the first time, but this is the hard look of a magician whose eyes pierce the veil of reality and burrow through a man's soul. I can see you have met with disturbing visions, but there is something else out there, something not born of life, as other spirits are. Shaking his head, Algernon opens his clasped hands to you as if begging forgiveness. Too often this world leaves us confounded. I pray I have not left you in such a state with my idle musings. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So I can get improved haste, and there's some new spells. Well, I'll definitely spend the points to get Conjuring 4. Set 5 medium cover barriers that last 3 rounds. Huh. That's substantial. Shadow zone in which characters cannot be targeted nor target others. Last 3 rounds. Do all of these put up 5 barriers? I thought it was just 1, and that's why I didn't buy it before. Yeah. Air barrier 3. Oh. No, he just doesn't sell the old one. The old one's just gone now. Well, for once my save my money madness has paid off, because he literally doesn't even sell the old stuff anymore. Alright, so upgrading this, paying 800 nuyen to upgrade this so that it lasts for 4 rounds instead of 2, but it still cools. Oh, wait a minute, does it cool down? Oh, the cooldown goes up as well. Still, having it sustained is a worthy endeavor. Can I have multiple versions of it equipped? No. Oh, maybe I can, but I need to upgrade it first, so... Hellstorm barrier. Okay, so that's later. Calculate the chance to hit with conjuring spells, increasing the skill, unlocks spell. Yeah, okay. What is the chance to hit with conjuring spells? I guess for the slow, then I'm actually going against somebody instead of 4. So, okay. So that was actually more points than I expected to spend. Let's grab this. Okay, so now I've got more slots and I can have both versions of this, which is dandy. Is there really nothing that can increase my carried weight? That seems so bizarre. I know we looked at this before, I just... No, it doesn't look like it. Huh. It's funny, I've increased my body substantially, yet, you know, it's still in the last couple of fights. If I hadn't done that, I would have been really up a creek. Basically what I'm getting at. Okay, I'm glad I didn't spec out too much because I'm realizing, you know, the points go pretty quick. So I now have the Overwatch ability. I don't desperately need that. I could spend some points on dodge, but again, I don't know how functional that actually is. It's kind of annoying. I mean, adding RPG systems that you then don't explain the details of is just... it's bad form, if nothing else. I have enough points that I could get Fire Barrier if I wanted to, or I could wait. I've already gotten substantial upgrades now. And spent some not insignificant money. So I could leave it for now, go out on another run like this. And then come back and spend points on presumably Hellfire Barriers. There's a cockroach in your eggs. Gross, dude. I don't need to hear about that. And these fetishes are getting more expensive. I don't know that the summoning system is... I mean, I guess when, you know, grenades and things are not insubstantial in their cost, I would rather have an elemental than a grenade in some cases. Another team member, even if it's for a limited time, but still. So why can I summon... So certain elemental types require different levels. So I can do all the level 1 and 2s, but 3s and 4s I can only do water and air. Is that because of their abilities? It sure would be nice to know what their abilities are before I summon them. Should I buy... I mean, I'd sort of like to know what I'm working with. Oh, there is no level 1 for water elemental, huh? Alright. Well, sure. For 200 Nuyen, let's find out what it's about. Oh, wait a minute. Did I buy an air by accident? I meant to buy a water. Or an earth, rather. Damn it. Oh well. It's only 100 new yen. Alright, there we go. So, who else we gotta talk to? Just the doc? Oh god. Lost my mouse cursor on the other screen and the game freaked out. Just one glance is all you need to tell that the good doctor is exhausted. Her crumpled scrubs are stained with a mix of blood and other fluids too colorful to be naturally occurring in the human body. Her eyes are those of a person who has built up a substantial sleep debt and has no idea when or how to begin paying it off. That feels like a personal attack. I'm not one to talk, but you look like Drek. Afraid there isn't much I can do for that. Doc Castle snaps her fingers and calls forth the spirit, normally seen perched on her shoulder. It appears from out of the ether, and the doctor immediately seems less fatigued than she was a moment before. Now, what can I do for you? Everything all right here, Doc? Here at the Union? Yes, fine. I'm just getting back myself. Days here tend to be slow, so I volunteered at a medical center on the other side of Touristville. I had a rough shift. Care to talk about it? Hadn't you heard? Doctors don't like to talk about their problems. It makes us appear less godlike. But I'll humor you. I didn't hear all the details. All I really know is what came in on the lips of the victims, healthy enough to still speak. Apparently, one of the Baron's gangs incurred the wrath of the local Siolpa rings, leading to a rolling shootout through the city streets. Several bystanders were injured. But the real mess didn't begin until the party crashed into the yard of an old industrial plant out on Union Hill Road. They woke some sort of toxic spirit, which then began running amok, causing easily as much damage as the initial battle. And we were left to pick up the pieces, of course. But enough about my troubles, let's hear about yours. Tell me what ails you. Do you have better kits now? You do. You do sell advanced med kits now. Thank you. I don't know if I should buy up extras now because they're in limited quantity, but they replenish when I come back, or what? You know? I can afford it, so... You know, it's fine. We'll leave it for now. Alright. Who are you? Oh, Delilah. Of course. If you're looking for runners again, I'm your guy. Discreet service only. Some things to take care of. Alright, so... That's our next task, is to hire more runners and go out. Maybe we'll try hiring them on percentage the next time, since I ended up in the red on the last one. The only other question is whether I should... Hold on. I've got more spell slots, and I feel weird not having them filled, so... I could get Haste 2. I could get Fog. Air Barrier. So does Silence stop spellcasters, or... Oh no, I think it's a sneaking ability. Should I buy slow 2 or wait for slow 3? I assume slow 3 will be on the way. Yeah, especially since it only this one only reduces it by 1, this reduces it by 2. I mean, that's not that substantial a slowdown. It's like having a shoe that isn't tied on quite right. Let's buy Lightning Barrier. 6 HP and 1 AP damage seems possibly useful. And at the worst, I've wasted 500 Nuyen. Alright, I feel a lot better equipped. Let's see if I'm an idiot for feeling that way shortly, I assume. Alright, on the next episode, we will hire a team, go back out into the world, see what we're up against. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.